For me, mentally and physically preparing for a race starts months in advance. The training that goes into some big races takes several months. As far as the day of for events, the biggest thing for me is trying to get a good night's sleep the night before, get enough nutrition and something that I'm used to in the morning to prepare for the day. And for me, just being there a little bit early so that I have time in case anything goes wrong. That's more the physical and the mental preparation on race day. As far as training throughout the week goes, having a family and having to share time with my wife as far as training or coordinating babysitting. The big thing for us is trying to plan a couple days out so that we are not running around last minute trying to squeeze a paddle in. But that tends to happen when we can't find babysitters, when the weather changes. So as far as the day-to-day stuff, I've actually gotten very good at a little bit of the chaos, even though we know it's not ideal for being prepared to paddle. So ideally, I would love to sleep in a little bit, train at the time that I want to train, have the right nutrition. But realistically, with life going on, with the family having priorities, if I have an opportunity to paddle, I grab the paddle, I grab the board, and I run out the door. As far as favorite exercises for paddling, I've found if you want to be better at paddling, you should paddle more. That being said, if you paddle too much, your body kind of gets broken down in the same places over and over again. So I do spend some time at the gym, and for me, any of the gym exercises that are more like Olympic style lifts or coordinated motions from your fingertips to your toes seem to work out best for me. And what I found, it's a combination of coordinated movements like squats and deadlifts and cleans, and then also just, since all my body motions go this way, training the muscles to go opposite so that things tend to even out a little better. And for me, it's less about how do I become stronger, because I already have strength as one of the qualities that translates pretty well for me. It's balance of the muscles so that I can paddle more. If I can even things out, then I can go again. Mm-hmm. Why are you laughing? What's my special diet? Coffee and bean and cheese burritos, beer. No. As far as a special diet goes, no. My wife cooks very well, so I'm lucky in that sense, and she tends to be extremely healthy, so I end up with a lot of healthy foods. For me, I tend to eat what's in the fridge is my go-to move. If it's not in the fridge, then I don't eat it. But I have, over the years, developed the ability to eat most anything, which is nice. But since I met my wife, everything in the house is very clean, tends to be more organic, and you can definitely tell a difference the older you get when you have good food the night before a paddle and when you have bad food. So when I have good food, I feel real good in the mornings. When I don't, it's a good thing I know how to suffer. When I'm preparing for longer races, I tend to add a lot more distance pieces to it. So in outrigger, we used to call it time in the seat. In stand-up, it's time standing. It's not always huge qualities of workouts, but sometimes it's just the quantity of getting comfortable for standing for long periods of time, getting comfortable recognizing how your body nutritionally reacts at hour 2 and 3, and how you physically react. Your muscles, where do you cramp if you cramp, what body positions do you have to change, what different types of strokes do you have to take, later in races. So for me, I tend to put some longer, hour and a half, 2 hours, and we always try and squeeze 1 or 2 3-hour paddles in, which may be more than what we're racing. But for us, it's just a matter of getting comfortable being uncomfortable. And so those distances, again, less quality, more quantity, more distance. And then as I get closer to the races, I can scale it back a little bit and add in a little more speed work, add in a little more of that quality. This is how fast I want to go. But for the most part, the distance, big change is we got to throw in some long, boring paddles.
Okay.
So they've asked me to share a tip with you guys for long distance paddling as far as technique goes. And I found it's very difficult to convey that information via words across the screen. So one thing I found is in very long distance paddles, everyone tries to explain what is the best way to paddle when everything is perfect. And we're going to recognize real quick at the 11 cities that things are not perfect all the time. And when it gets really difficult, you need to figure out and decide what is most important that you have to keep in your technique when everything else is going away. So over time it's going to change. Sometimes you can reach, sometimes you can set better. On day 4, you might not be able to set your blade very hard. But if it still works, keep doing it. So sometimes you take what you get, and you be very good at that. I'll try that again.
Okay.
Perfect.